Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Paris.
Good Mike.
What I thought I'd do is ask a swag of questions and then throw it over to you guys. I think when the expert panel was handed this task, as we all recall, it was after a very fraught debate and a very divisive debate in the Federal Parliament. I think Neil Mitchell at the time on 3AW described it as a hospital handball, and in a lot of ways it was. They were being asked to solve a problem that the Parliament totally failed to do. So, and I guess there was almost a very difficult, almost a contradiction in terms of reference, that they were to come up with a way to save lives now, to stop people getting on boats now, but they were also supposed to come up with a system for the future that would be much, much better, a regional framework that we have not had. So I guess the starting point is to talk about how you dealt with that challenge and how you went about meeting the terms of reference.
Well, the challenge was obviously fairly daunting. I think hospital hand pass is a fairly generous description for Mitchell. Look, it's an issue that I've been involved in for such a long time. One of the most frustrating things has been the quality of the political discourse on this issue and the extent to which the reality of people's lives and the issues in this area get distorted. It's become increasingly compelling to me, and in our work at the Foundation, just seeing the volume of people coming through, the tragedies that people have experienced prior to their arrival, the traumatic experience people have in trying to get here, and then there is the escalating rate of loss of life at sea. I think Antonio Guterres, the High Commissioner of the UNHCR, said at the Lowy Institute something to the effect that the actual number of asylum seekers around the world hasn't been increasing dramatically, but the rate of loss of life at sea has. And so, as daunting and as politicised and as vexed as it was, at one level, I felt both a responsibility but also a need to at least have a go at trying to sort it out and help break the impasse. Breaking the impasse in the Parliament is a fairly fluid concept, though, and I think what we will continue to see are shifting positions that will primarily be focused on obtaining political advantage, although I am relieved to some extent that some of the more important recommendations in the report are actually being acted on, as well as some of what I would consider to be the less significant and mostly true.
I guess one of the threshold questions for the committee, or the panel, was this notion that of deterrence, and whether the answer to the problem was to give people incentives not to get on boats by increasing our refugee intake by doing a number of the things that you've recommended, or whether you needed some sort of blunt instrument to deter people. And I know you wrestled with this issue, but in the end you came up with you decided that some form of disincentive had to be part of the equation.
Yeah, desperately trying to turn it away from the purely punitive, deterrence-oriented approach that had been taken in the past and that characterised most of the political discourse in the country, where really the options that were being presented were almost exclusively about how to make life miserable, how to, at one level, punish people for seeking protection in that way. That was almost the whole characterisation of how to respond to what is essentially a humanitarian issue. What was happening at the same time, as a consequence of the impasse, though, was that the numbers of people seeking protection that way had started to increase. increase exponentially. It's no longer at the rate of 300 or 400 a month. It's tracked to 2,000 a month. And there's every indication that it would go beyond that. That means that on the water at any given time you could have 40 or 50 boats. And the Navy simply doesn't have the resources to cover that many boats on the water at any one time if quite a few of them get into distress. Because once they've responded to a couple of boats and they're taking a group of people to Christmas Island or whatever, that boat's out of the equation for the duration. So the rate at which that had grown and the extent to which the smuggling activity had become much more highly organised and coordinated meant that finding a way to create enough space and clean air to focus on the regional stuff while there were still large numbers arriving and increasing numbers of people dying meant that we needed to actually come up with some measures for discouraging people to take those risks while creating the incentives in the region for people to be able to seek protection safely and get an outcome safely. So it was impossible in the end when you weigh in what Indonesia's view of the matter is, which is it's not their problem, it's Australia's problem and it's Australia's fault, and that Indonesian citizens and Indonesian cruising ships are victims of asylum seekers and of people smugglers. That's their view of it. They're also extremely concerned that if we respond simply by offering more resettlement places out of Indonesia, that they would then become the base for which many thousands more people would come in search of one of those places. So they were clear they're not prepared to tolerate that. Malaysia had a similar view. And at the same time, you have situations in Pakistan, on the Afghan border, in Iran and so forth, where conditions were deteriorating for some groups. And there was an increasing number of people who felt compelled to move on. Now, when you have the weight of those numbers coming, and one of your key terms of reference is to stop people from risking their lives and dying at sea, it was impossible to construct a package that didn't have some measures to discourage as well. It's very different to it being punitive in the way in which it was in the past.
The intellectual argument for Malaysia has a great deal of strength in the sense that the aim was to not only we send 800 people back there, we take 4,000 more from there to relieve and get the burden there. They give work rights and guarantees on non-refoulement and so forth. That has the potential to knock on to other transit countries. So I can understand the argument for Malaysia, but with that, unable to tick all the boxes on that yet, you've opted for Nauru and Manus, where we don't have any of those intellectual arguments in terms of improving the situation in the transit countries.
Well, that's if you don't consider the report as an integrated package. And what was very quick to happen was people chose to cherry pick aspects of the report and focus on them. And when you do that, it's very easy to highlight weaknesses and problems. The actual requirement is to treat it as an integrated package of proposals, because one feeds into and balances off the other. The questions around Malaysia in the lead up to the injunction against the Malaysia arrangement going into place, and then the High Court decision which squashed that arrangement and made it impossible for it to occur, and the impasse in the Parliament about any legislation that would have enabled that to occur, and the really extreme criticism, certainly very forceful criticism of Malaysia as a country and the human rights record, not not without foundation, meant that the situation in Malaysia was probably not quite right. They were about to go into an election, and the extent to which that government would want to wear the sort of flag that it wore in another High Court challenge saying it wasn't safe to send people back there. The politics of that meant it was unpredictable as to the extent to which you could resurrect that arrangement at this point in time. Plus we felt there were important protections that hadn't been finalised. Unattached minors, what was going to happen with them, how would they be cared for, how would they be protected. Monitoring and oversight over the conditions in the arrangement, how would that work in a way that was rigorous enough to make it all stick together. Indonesia, our relationship with Indonesia on these issues is not all that strong. We were briefed time and time again about the fact that Indonesia felt aggrieved on a number of fronts. On this issue, we have a strong relationship on other things. The Oceanic Viking, where the former Prime Minister Kevin Rudd sent the Oceanic Viking with 76 asylum seekers back into Indonesian waters where they refused to get off, and for very understandable reasons, and I do know those reasons because I was there with them. And the boat that was sent back to Merak when, again, Prime Minister Rudd asked the Indonesians to intercept a boat in Merak. That was in distress, and it took them back to Merak, and people refused to disembark for I think 7 or 8 months. And Indonesia felt as though Australia didn't pull its weight in that front, on those fronts. And so getting Indonesia engaged in a regional arrangement was also something that was going to require quite a bit of negotiation. So the two core and closest regional transit countries needed quite a bit more effort and negotiation and dialogue for them to actually, I think, be fully engaged, and it remains to be seen if that's still possible now. And so when you're left with knowing that that's going to take a period of time to achieve, and the rate of boat departures is increasing, and the number of deaths is also increasing, and one of your core terms of reference is how do you stop people dying, then the only real avenues that we had available to us in terms of discouraging that sort of stuff was to look at Nauru and Manus, which was a very difficult thing for me to come to grips with, and which is why we recommended a series of safeguards that I believe mean it can't be anything like it was in the past. So there'll be independent oversight and monitoring mechanisms. There will be legal assistance available to people to assist them with their claims. There will be an independent review mechanism put in place. There will be a full suite of services and assistance, access to education and vocational training. There will be a capacity to remove people if vulnerabilities become such that that's warranted. None of us could get a visa to go to Nauru last time. You were, after 3.5 years, for the first one that could get there. There was no legal, everything that I just mentioned, legal representation, so none of that existed in the situation on Nauru, let alone independent oversight and monitoring or access for the media to go. So all of those things, I think, create a different set of safeguards that never existed before and differentiate in very significant ways from what happened before. And they're all vital because the mental health consequences last time of people being locked up in detention on Nauru for 3 years, first off last time, were devastating. So while I had significant anxiety about how that unfolds, I'm hopeful that with NGOs engaged in this as well, we'll be able to overcome some of those concerns. But that's why we went for Nauru. The other options were not going to be ready immediately, and yet we knew that more people were going to die. And last week was another awful example of that being true.
I'll just go back to one thing you mentioned about Indonesian cooperation, which I think one of the many achievements of the panel was that they recommended that we change this law on mandatory sentencing of boat crew. And until this point, there have been 500 people, Indonesians, in our criminal justice system who overwhelmingly were poor, uneducated people who'd been duped into taking roles on boats, and many of them were children jailed in maximum security prisons. And despite enough publicity, despite a number of human rights bodies coming out, it wasn't until the expert panel said they should review this law that the Attorney General last week announced that she instructed the DPP to review all the charges. And there's been, having gone to a lot of these trials, it's been incredible the damage that's been done to these people and their families, because they're the only breadwinner who's been taken out of their family for, in most cases, 2 years. And it's only now that we're beginning to correct this. And to my view, that has to have had an impact on Indonesia's willingness to help crack down on, the people who are making money out of this trade, when so many of their citizens were being treated so badly.
Well, the 5-year mandatory sentencing served no effective purpose other than for the Parliament or government or those in the Parliament that supported it, give them an opportunity to beat their chest about how tough they were going to be. It had zero impact on arrivals, and as you say, had devastating impacts on probably families back home. For President Yudhoyono, it was a festering sore for him, especially when we had minors being held in prisons, adult prisons. And people probably don't realise this, but the amount of grief he copped for reducing Chappelle Corby's sentence by 5 years was extraordinary in Indonesia on political terms. And at the same time, we were locking up poor, vulnerable Indonesian citizens for 5-year sentences. And at the same time as that, we were asking Indonesia to support us in developing a regional framework and trying to deal with this issue. It made no sense. And I think the government has acknowledged that and has moved swiftly to implement that part of the recommendation, which is a very good thing, I think. The one thing I didn't say before, Mike, there's been a lot made of this question of how could we say Nauru or Manus is an acceptable option. Now, we've seen Nauru and Manus as short-term interim circuit breakers. They're not the main game, the centrepiece of the report. The first 2/3 of it is all about building regional arrangements and safe pathways and investing in that. And unfortunately, most people who commented on the report in the first few days had clearly not read it. And I suspect most haven't since that time either. But we were struck with a very difficult ethical issue, and we weren't able to fall short on that ethical conundrum. And it goes like this. Should a country like Australia put in place measures to discourage people from risking their lives and dying at sea? Or should we allow people to make independent decisions to take those risks regardless of the consequences, because we shouldn't intervene in the process? We wrestled with that, and I think it's a legitimate ethical question either side, and there are compelling arguments either side. When we wrestled with it, we came down on the side that it was unacceptable with the rate of deaths that were occurring, and knowing that more were going to occur. We fell down on the ethical side of saying we needed to do something, whatever we could, to prevent that. Having to put up with more news about mothers and their babies drowning, men, children drowning, and so forth, was something that we shouldn't really tolerate. And that's the side we came down. And in doing that, we had to own the decision to recommend opening Nauru and Manus Island as one of the measures to discourage that. And we had to own that with the risks and the consequences of that and put it out there for the public to question and challenge and so forth. And we did. The other side of the coin, though, is do you not intervene? Do you say it's not your right as a country to do things that may stop that from occurring? It's not, and if you came down, we felt, if we came down on that side, then we also had to come down on the side and say publicly that it was out of a choice of two terrible, wicked choices, it was more preferable not to intervene, knowing that more people would die, as opposed to try to intervene to stop that happening. Now, most people that have criticised Nauru and Manus as being used as short-term interim circuit breakers have not gone the next step and said that in preferring the other choice, they don't like it and they wouldn't want it to happen, but they accept that one of the consequences of that choice is that more people will die. Now, for me, I think if you're going to deal with this issue, you have to go the whole hog. You can't cop out at the point at which you feel comfortable and safe with the position and leave the whole other side of it out of the equation. And that was the difficult thing for us. So you could come down on either way. The panel came down that way, and we put it out there for everyone to see. I've had people like, incredible people who I respect, Frank Brennan or Julian Burnside or others question the no advantage principle and going back to Nauru and Manus and so forth as being cruel. But they also haven't said that in accepting that we shouldn't do that, more people are going to die. And I think we have to deal with the whole picture. We can't just pick the bits that we're comfortable with. Otherwise, we'll never get there with a proper solution.
I guess one of the difficulties is your clear view is that Nauru and Manus are very much short-term circuit breakers, a minor part of the program. Yet it's now the politicians who will decide this, and as long as the votes are coming, that won't change. And indeed, if government changes next year, not only will we have Nauru and Manus, but we'll also have turning back the votes and the reintroduction of temporary protection visas, which must add to the burden on your shoulders when you're making these recommendations.
Well, it does add to the burden, but you can't come about this and try and come up with a package of options based on who may or may not be in government. We don't have a crystal ball that allows us to do that. And our job was to try to come up with what we thought would be the best set of arrangements regardless of who was in government. What government does with that is up for them, and then they can be judged by that. That's why we emphasised it as a complete and integrated package. The way in which we've tried to construct the package meant that those punitive measures around temporary protection visas, for example, with no family reunion, no permanent residency, all of those sorts of things, are in fact not necessary. You don't even need to contemplate it in the package of arrangements that we've proposed, because everyone eventually will be coming through an expanded, more supported, managed program. So you don't have to get into the punitive stuff about punishing people more for those sorts of things. So there is the risk of that, but only if you decide you don't accept the fact that what's proposed in the recommendations could provide a genuine short, medium and long-term outcome. And in the long-term outcome, you would not need necessarily Nauru or Manus. You would have better arrangements in Malaysia and Indonesia, but further up the chain in Pakistan and Iran, or wherever else in the south of India when it relates to Tamils, where people can apply safely for protection. Now, if there's one thing I'm not going to take responsibility for, I'll own everything that we recommended, but I'm not going to take responsibility for the integrity or credibility of governments. Someone else can do that. Hopefully governments will. But that wasn't our goal. Our goal was to come up with a set of packages that whoever was in power, if they implemented them and did them fairly and judiciously, we would get to a better, safer, fairer way for people to find protection. And that's what we aimed for.
Thanks for giving you some background on what happened last time. When I went to Nauru, I've been trying for about 3 years and finally got there, and there were still 58 people who were on the island, and they'd only recently freed it up so that they could leave the camp during the day, but they were clearly and there were 2 family groups, they were clearly in a very bad way, and after a lot of their stories were published, they did review the cases and assuaged them, working them refugee status. Some months later, about 4 months later, there were about, I think, 28 there, and by that point, the mental health had deteriorated to the point where the resident psychiatrist had said that she wouldn't be held liable if people killed themselves, and it was after those letters were put to government that they asked Paris to lead a mental health team, and it was his report that really highlighted the gravity of the situation where the overwhelming majority of these people had suicidal thoughts every day that forced Amanda Vanstone to immediately bring all but 2 who had adverse security findings, which is another terrible story, to Australia. So, Paris, you've seen very much firsthand what long-term detention on Nauru without the supports did. I get you've talked about a range of safeguards, and the question is how, what will you be able to do to ensure that those safeguards are delivered?
Well, we've already begun that process. So last week, with another hat that I have chairing the Advisory Council on these issues for the Minister, we met 2 weeks ago. As a consequence, we organised meetings. In Canberra last Thursday, there was a mental health group led by Nicholas Proctor, had Michael Dudley involved with it, Dr. Ida Kaplan and others. They were looking at mental health issues, particularly any pre-transfer screening assessments, but more importantly, post-arrival comprehensive assessments, and they'll continue to look at that question of mental health. Again, that didn't exist before. There was a group of legal representatives, people from the non-government sector and the private sector who worked in this area for many years, that met to talk about the legal determination process that should be put in place on Nauru, because last time it was, quite frankly, ridiculous. So what would be a fair legal determination process? How would you construct a mechanism where legal representatives from Australia or elsewhere assisted people to produce claims? How would you produce an appeal mechanism that was much fairer than it was last time? It's not simply the officer who made the decision reviewing their own decision, or the person sitting next to them reviewing their own decision. The panel report recommended it needed to be independent and it needed to have non-government or representation involved on it. So a group has met on that. We've had a subsequent teleconference, drafted a paper that's gone to the government now as well. On Friday, there was a meeting that I convened in Canberra, and the Refugee Council of Australia were there, Amnesty International were there, Act for Peace from the National Council of Churches were there, the Jesuit Refugee Service was there, UNHCR was there, a whole range of people, I think Red Cross was there, there was a range of non-government agencies, their representatives of the APRA network, which is an Asia Pacific regional network of NGOs working on these issues, to talk about how to spend this initial $10.5 million for capacity building in the region. What could we do in the region to strengthen NGO and civil society's involvement in policy making and in service delivery to help look after people. So those 3 meetings have already happened, and they've been set up for more work to continue to happen. So the reality is, I'm not really keen to waste too much time on it. The government's going down this track, too much time on just talking about it, but bringing as many people with all of the expertise into the frame to start making sure that in the context of Nauru and Manus, they remain short-term circuit breakers to try to deal with this question of people dying at sea without the consequences that we did last time. And at the same time, start investing in building the regional framework and capacity for processing that has never existed before. We have never had $70 million to invest in NGOs and civil society groups in this region to protect and care for asylum seekers seeking protection. Never existed before. 70 million doesn't sound like a lot of money. Let me tell you, in Malaysia, what you can do with a few $1 million compared to what you can do here in Australia. You can quadruple the amount of medical care, quadruple the amount of access to education. You can get 30 or 40,000 more people registered with UNHCR. This has never existed before, and neither has a 20,000 place refugee quota with another 4,000 places in the family migration stream from family members. Never before has a government committed to NGO and civil society participation in policy development and service delivery in these contexts. In my 25 years, some of this stuff we've begged and dreamt for a long time, and now it's on the table, and the worst thing we can do is not grab that opportunity and make the most of it as quickly and as best as we possibly can for the thousands of people in our region who need protection, not only the ones who come within our immediate view. Some people might realise this stuff, but in that boat that went down last week, where over 100 people presumed dead. They were in the water for hours. The survivors were plucked out of the water in amongst dead bodies floating around. One guy who was pulled out of the water had his arm taken off by a shark, and he died on the boat afterwards. Kids, others saw all of this sort of stuff. Anyone who believes that the horror and the gravity and the seriousness of that stuff does not warrant our action, I'm sorry, we felt we couldn't live with ourselves and come to that conclusion. That's where we came down on the debate. And I think if we can protect people better, if we can create a genuine process that people can get asylum safely and be flown and free, as opposed to having to spend money they don't have, put their family in debt to smugglers and under threat of reprisals if it's not paid, all of those sorts of things. For us, we came down at the side of the equation that of all of the difficult, wicked aspects of this problem, that we needed to take that one and deal with that one as well as deal with the rest of the issues in play. We don't know how many boats go in. You know, anecdotally, from talking to asylum seekers, they talk about numbers of boats that have departed that port. I visit all the detention centres, and I've been there at least on 3 occasions where people have asked me about family who they know left 6, 7, 8 months earlier, and they haven't been able to raise confidence for it. There's only one answer. And I think, in fact, on the 2 of them, it was about the same boat, and the other one wasn't. But they're just the ones we hear about. So the question for us is, how do we deal with all of it? Every submission we got, almost, recommended a regional framework. Trust Party Group recommended a regional framework. Everyone said we could have a regional framework. We were all in furious agreement about having a regional framework. There were about 3 submissions that put any real detail into that. Refugee Council of Australia, one by John Menadue, RDRG from you, Kate Tortier, one by Gavin, and another one by the council, my chair. So everyone was in furious agreement, but there wasn't a lot of detail about how to do it. What we tried to do is make recommendations that would allow that detail to be developed. no submission got the question of how do you stop people drowning. Nobody's. It was in the too hard zone, and I understand completely why it was in the too hard zone. But we couldn't fulfil our terms of reference and ignore that part.
I guess the key question, which we don't know the answer to, is how long it will take to get a regional framework. And the most contentious, most controversial aspect of going to Nauru and Manus is the no disadvantage test, where notionally you are sent to be in Nauru, you will be processed and become a refugee, but you will stay there as long as you would stay in Indonesia or Malaysia or some other transit place. And no one can give a precise answer on how long that will take. What's your best guess on how long it will take to have a regional framework and how long people will be on Nauru and Manus?
I'm not going to put a time frame on it because I'd be lying to you if I did. And I'm not in the habit of doing that. So it's not going to be 4, 5, 10 years or possibly forever, as some people have said publicly. That's absolutely not the case, and the Nauru government said it can't be the case. Many people said to us, including refugee communities that we spoke to, if there's a regional arrangement in place and it takes 2 years, some people even up to 3 years, but people knew that they would get an outcome and that there would be assistance for them during that time, that would be okay. That's what people said to us. Human rights groups, advocacy groups, NGOs, refugee communities themselves. So that people were saying that to us. The problem was that if you say, okay, we're going to invest in that, and we've got agreement to invest in that, but smugglers can say to you, don't wait 2 years, we'll get you there in 2 weeks. Then the real likelihood is that people are going to go for the 2 weeks. So the whole edifice and purpose of building a fairer processing arrangement starts to crumble immediately if you allow that to occur. The no advantage principle is something that's already been contorted. It was an attempt to say, we don't believe that trying to be punitive makes sense. We don't believe it's an appropriate thing for a country like Australia to do. We shouldn't have TPVs, we shouldn't do the sorts of things that happened before. But what about the family with the children in Malaysia or Indonesia or in Pakistan that have applied into the process, that don't have the resources to go around the system that we're putting in place, and who, if you had them in front of you, you would be just as concerned about as the people that you do get to see. How do you deal with that group of people fairly as well? And that's what the no advantage principle was about. And it's not really about saying we're going to send you to Nauru and Manus as a shining example of how pitiful you are as a deterrent. People who say that don't know. They've never had a conversation with me or Angus or Michael. That was never in our frame or our thinking. The principle of it was to say, stay where you are where you're safe. And if you're not safe, we're going to put services in place to try and help you out. Don't spend the $20,000 on a people smuggler. Don't risk being a casualty at sea in increasing numbers. We'll get to you, and we'll do it as judiciously and as quickly as we possibly can. That's what the no advantage principle is about. It's essentially, at some levels, it's more an economic argument of saying, don't spend your money, you don't have to do it this way, we're going to build something. It might take a couple of years, but everybody told us that would be acceptable if people were being supported and there was going to be an outcome. That's what we're going for. The other thing I should say is that if we build a proper regional arrangement, it won't just be our 20,000 places that come into play. If UNHCR is processing people in the region, then we end up with large numbers. Last year, of the 90,000 refugee resettlement places in the world or so that are available, 19,500 went begging. They fell short of the quota globally by 19,500 places. If we had a proper regional arrangement running, where people were being processed and UNHCR could make referrals, they could have filled that 19,500 places out of our region. There are enormous benefits if we can build this and come at it together, constructively and with enough deliberate thought and intent to improve things, not just for the ones that get to us, but for the tens of thousands of people in our region that we're not seeing there, but I can guarantee you are in as much difficulty and hardship as anyone that we've seen. So we have to take a view of improving things more fairly and more broadly for as many people as we possibly can. It's too comfortable sitting in Australia and thinking we don't have to focus on that other group that we never get to see. I think that's part of our human rights obligations. There's a lot of criticism about minors. People say, what about the Convention on the Rights of the Child? My response is, why is our concern for children only invoked once they get here? If you're committed to the Convention on the Rights of the Child and the protection of children and minors, why shouldn't your concern extend to them before they have to risk their lives? That's what building a regional arrangement is designed to do. And yes, there are some measures that are pretty tough in the sense that you won't get the outcome you paid for initially because you'll end up in Nauru. But we're not saying you won't end up here, like it was said before. And we're not saying you won't have legal assistance or access to education or healthcare or vocational training to develop a skill or whatever. We're saying there's going to be all of that in place as well. That's the difficulty of dealing with this issue. There's no easy answers.
Well, I think before describing it as the ethical dilemma between the lesser of two wicked options, one of the consequences of the one you've chosen is that there is a danger that those people who do get here or do get to Christmas Island and then go to Nauru or Manus are painted as queue jumpers because they've tried to circumvent the system, which I know you and many others who know there is no such thing as a queue jumper, and yet they will be demonised as such. How do we counter that perception?
The only way you can counter that perception is by continually presenting people as human beings, instead of painting them as faceless hordes of invaders. You don't articulate a policy that has that as your frame of reference. You talk about this as a complex, global, phenomenal humanitarian problem that requires complex global responses. And you don't take the human face out of that equation. Whether it's someone that's been transferred to Nauru, someone living in a slum in Malaysia and can't feed themselves, someone living run on the streets in Indonesia, or a member of the community on the Afghan-Pakistan border is terrified of the rise of the Taliban in Pakistan at the moment. There are Hazaras that are being executed routinely by militia groups on the border at the moment. You don't let that view of the reality of this situation get overrun by this chest-thumping approach that's characterised the political landscape. I don't know whether most of the politicians were picked on anarchists or whatever the case may be, but it does nothing to present it in that way. As people's been accused. A friend of mine, Dave Willett, in his thesis, talked about accused as being small like a heap. Then every now and then, someone lucky enough gets dragged out from underneath that heap to get one of the very scarce resettlement places in the world. What we want to do is make it less of a heap and give people a bit more hope that there will be at least some order and fairness in the opportunity for them. We can't fix this problem as one country. Anyone who thinks we can is deluding themselves. But we can make a much, much better contribution than we're making. And I think a lot of what's in the report will enable us to do it. I get a bit irritated with the queue jump. There's never been. The whole reason for building the system is that there isn't one at the moment, so where's the queue jump?
In the next 2 or 3 weeks, there may be the first plane load go to Nauru. You have succeeded in getting the government to agree this financial year to increase the refugee intake by 7,250, including 400 odd places in Indonesia. When are you hoping that the first plane load of asylum seekers under this approach will come from Indonesia to Australia?
Very soon. I mean, the whole emphasis for me is to say you've got to start this. If you want people to believe that there's going to be hope in some other pathway, then they have to physically be able to see the manifestation of that hope. Not just, there'll be all sorts of footage, and don't get me wrong, and I'm bracing myself for it. The transfers to Nauru will probably be awful. People will be very distressed about not getting the outcome that some were told they would get. They invested a lot of money and so forth. So I have no illusions about how tough that is going to be, which is why we're trying to put so much effort into making sure we look after people that are transferred. But I'm very hopeful the department is working overtime at the moment and trying to liaise with UNHCR about how those places are going to get filled. They're talking to NGOs about whether NGOs operating overseas can make referrals into our resettlement program. They're going to have to be creative in how they identify those cases, and we're putting in place meetings with the Hazara community, the Tamil community, Iranian communities and other communities here in Australia to also look at ways in which this could be done better and more fairly, where they get to have a part in the process as well. So hopefully we'll see that very soon. I believe we'll see it very soon. I also believe the 4,000 places that will be increased in the family migration stream will probably get announced sometime in the next couple of weeks as well. What people don't realise about that, one, I think Melbourne University academic wrote in an article the day after or 2 days after the report that we had cut off access to family reunions for asylum seekers. Now, I know she didn't read the report because we increased family reunion places by 4,000 places. That's going to clear the family reunion backlog over the next couple of years, and it will prevent a backlog from building up the humanitarian program again, because they will stay in the family migration stream. Now, there's a fee attached to that, but it's nowhere near as expensive as paying for your family to come by boat. Nowhere near. So in reality, this is a film, isn't it? In reality, the humanitarian program has been increased to 24,000 places, not 20,000. It's just been created in accounting terms and calculated in a different way and presented in a different way. The last 3 years in the UK, they've had around 20,000 asylum seeker applications every year, and they've approved about 5,000 to 5,500 each year. Our program of 20,000 plus 4,000 places means that more than four to five times the amount of people given refugee status in the UK every year are going to be flown to Australia and resettled safely. From my point of view, that's something to be proud of as a country, even though we've got some difficult things ahead of us.
You're the only member of the panel who has a continuing involvement in the area, and I guess the challenge is who's going to bell the cat if the promises aren't kept, and particularly in terms of what happens on Nauru. I guess your responsibility will be to call it as you see it and be forceful.
Well, yeah, and there's been no attempt to stop me from being forceful about it. I'm sure she won't mind. The Prime Minister rang me on the weekend after that first week to say thank you for the work done in the report. We ended up in a discussion I'm not sure she thought she was going to end up in, about the fact that all the emphasis had been on Nauru and Manus, and that without the commitment to a 20,000 place quota and the 70 million for capacity building and so forth, I could maintain my support for it. And that was clear. She was incredibly generous in her engagement with it. And I had conversations with at least 5 other members of Cabinet where the same point was made. We made it. Angus was very clear that this was an integrated whole. It couldn't be picked apart. And even though it started annoyingly with Nauru and Manus, they have come good so far, up to 20,000 places. The initial $10 million down payment for the regional capacity building is there. The $3 million for research. They've dealt with the question about fishers being the mandatory sentencing of Indonesian crew. They've held to their word about allowing us to bring NGOs and civil society groups into the court block. So, you know, at the moment, as much as I was irritated by that first week, by the way, I wasn't just irritated by the Parliament, I was irritated by a lot of the commentary, as I said earlier. But I think people are starting to focus on it, and I think we'll get there. And if they renege on it, if they withdraw from the oversight monitoring stuff, if they withdrew the legal advice, if they withdrew the health care, if they withdrew the money for capacity building or cut the refugee quota, then of course you wouldn't support it, and I'd be the first one up there saying it. And unfortunately they all said we were experts, and so therefore they're going to have to cop that as well, that their own group of experts. I've never been called an expert in my life, by the way. Someone told me that all it required was to have it on the business card. And the best submission I've got. I'll tell you privately later. Sorry?
I think you can tell our audience privately now.
But the reality is that Angus was, the three of us were very firm about this being an integrated package. And I have to say that standing with someone like Angus Houston to stand up and say that carried an enormous degree of weight, and I don't think they would be silent if it's not picked apart and not implemented either. And the one thing about this report for groups is that it's not only a report to the Parliament, it's a report for all of us to use in holding the Parliament to account. All 22 recommendations were accepted. Instead of us getting into a fight about whether or not one aspect is fair and legitimate and so forth, and staying in that space, we should be using the report to hold in government to account for the implementation of all of those recommendations. Get as many people protected as we possibly can and get it done safely. So, you know, I'll be the first one bellyaching and getting you to publish op-ed pieces or whatever the case may be if they fall apart. But so far, I think the commitment from the government has been fairly genuine. Now, when people are transferred to Nauru, it will be tough, and people are going to be saying, "See, we told you, you're a pack of bastards for recommending this." And so but I think we can get through that. I think we can look after that group of people. We can make sure they get an outcome down the track in a way that's fair and timely. It's not going to be the sorts of lengths of time that people talked about. And we can also look after thousands more people more fairly. 6,500 additional humanitarian program places, 4,000 additional family reunion places for humanitarian cases. I can guarantee you for that group of 10,000 people, no one will feel as though at least a sense of fairness and equity for them has finally been delivered as well. No perfect answers here. There's no solution. Just better ways of managing. And hopefully this gives us a better way of managing.
I think it's your turn now. Anyone would like to ask questions? Lady at the front of the camera. I think there it is.
No, there are. Now, I'm sorry if this question seems hopelessly naive. Feel free to tell me. Now, people seem to be getting out of the camps quite quickly at the moment. People seem to be pumping them out after sort of 2 or 3 months. It's going to take years before the regional solution that you're talking about actually starts working. I don't know how many years it's going to be before we set up visa offices in Quetta and Iran and the places where people need them so we can stop them coming by boat. People are still going to be coming. People are still going to be making it down to Malaysia and Indonesia. So they're going to be backing up. If they're not coming on the boats, if we manage to stop the boats, which I'm not sure we will, but the populations of these people will be building up. Why don't we just send them a boat? Once a month, just send them a boat. Great big cruise ship with medical people on it, and just say, look, here's a boat. Let's bypass the people smugglers. If there are people who have UNHCR cards who have been waiting for years, let's go and get them. Then you guys can wait until this regional solution happens. But there are people who've been waiting 10, 15, 20 years. Why don't we just go and get them? Eventually they're going to come.
It's not a naive question, and it's not irrelevant, although I'm not sure about the proposal. And other people said similar things to us. One person said, why don't we set up a burial service and so forth. The question of how long the regional arrangement will take to be fully functioning is a very legitimate one. The hope is that we would get a universal determination system where people were assessed in the same way, where they had access to a better quality of appeal in the same way, and where the establishment of a pool of resettlement places was expanded and increased, and there was some confidence about people's timeliness of an outcome. So that will take time. The things that don't take time, that we can do now, that we control, is the size of our quota. We increased it to 20,000, 4,000 places in February. We control how much money we put into capacity building in the region, $70 million. We control how much of that we give to UNHCR to process. We control where we take people from, which parts of the region we take them from. We control which organisations we can engage to assist us in that process. So yes, while it's going to take time for the ideal notion of a regional arrangement to happen, there are a significant number of aspects of it that are within our power to do immediately. And in the absence of completing all of it, if we do all of those things immediately, then there's still thousands more people every year that are going to be better off as a consequence. So that's one thing, but I agree completely about, there are risks with that, because the other thing that a lot of commentators don't take account of is that when you're talking about doing things in other countries and with other countries, then you have to have them on board. And not every other country in the region sees this as the same priority that Australia sees it as. Some of the countries in the region are more focused on feeding the population. So, you've got to balance off all of those challenges as well. We can't simply roll into Malaysia or roll into Indonesia or India or Pakistan and say, this is how it's all going to work now, and you're going to have to do it the way us wonderful Australians want you to do it. And countries like Indonesia and Malaysia are thriving democracies as well now, and they fiercely protect that. As for sending a big ship every now and then, the question I would ask is, where do you draw the line? Where's the limit on the numbers? If Indonesia says, thanks for your big ship, but we've got 200,000 people here now, we don't want one big ship, we want 6 big ships a month. Where do you draw the line? That's the dilemma here.